Baba, in one of the Murlis some few days back, spoke about how when you are in complete peace, you can pull another person into that peace. And Baba said, even if it may not be permanent, but if you're peaceful, at least temporarily, you can bring someone to experience that peace. And in the Murli today also, Baba is talking about sitting in the seed stage where you are in complete touch with your own inner peace, happiness, power, beauty. And then other people around you are able to have a taste of it when they are in and around you. So, and when somebody has a taste for something, sometimes you go somewhere and they prepare a new recipe which you have not had until then, and then you taste it, and then if you are a good cook, you can from that taste you can figure out how to create that recipe, or at least you start searching for how you can arrive at that taste because you like it. So Baba says sometimes if somebody is around you and they get a taste of your peace or your happiness or your power or your love, then they will start searching how they can arrive at that taste, or they can figure out. And then, this is the starting point for seva. And this is how people are influenced by spiritual power or spiritual virtues, and then they also start to think about what you are doing, and they also want to do what you're doing. So this is something. Now let me read out the Murli a little, and then there are some elevated versions by Mama, so we will also listen to that. Now Baba in the essence today says, sweet children, Baba, the death of all deaths. Now what is the death of all deaths? In Hinduism you say Kalon ke Kal Mahakal. So that is translated as deaths of all deaths. So Baba says, Baba, the death of all deaths. Now, there is a problem with translation, and of course you don't get the essence of what Baba says in translation, but I will try to give it in both languages wherever that is necessary. So Baba says, Baba, the death of all deaths has come to enable you to conquer death. Only with the mantra of Man Mana Bhav will you be able to conquer death. Now, you see, the soul is deathless. And but these days we are afraid of death. So, because we are not soul conscious. And then Baba says, you cannot become soul conscious until and unless you connect with the one who is soul conscious. So Baba says, I am the one who is absolutely soul conscious, and if you tune into me, which is Man Mana Bhav, then you can become like me, which is soul conscious. And then when you are also soul conscious, then you are not afraid of death. And then if you're not afraid of death, then death doesn't exist for you. Yes, because death is an idea we have bought into because we became body conscious. Otherwise, there is no death. Baba says that this is a costume, and just like a snake has the habit of changing one's skin into another, so you also leave a body and take another body. That's not death. That's just a comma in life. Yes. So again, the sentence continues. So you are the same. Your sanskars and karmic accounts are the same, and then you get something which is very similar to what you have now. Yes, if you that whatever you get is based on your karma and your sanskars, and that is the basis of what you have now also. So Baba says nothing changes after death. It's just that there is a little memory break. So you just think you are starting new, but then it's not new, it's continuity. So do you think that you are in that stage where you are where you don't where you're not afraid of death? Yes. So how many of you are in that stage? Now let me tell you something here. If you ask a child whether he is afraid of fire, and then sometimes if the child has not experienced fire, they say that I am not afraid of fire. Yes, so sometimes, fearlessness can come from a place of ignorance also. And I will tell you one incident, and there was this brother, and he was some 80 years of age when he came to Baba, and then after maybe 6 years into his journey as a BK, I was having a conversation with him, and he said, Didi, do you know, when I came to Baba, I was not afraid of death because I was 80 and none of my friends died at 80. So they all died when they were 90 or something. And then I was not afraid of death. And whenever Baba said about deathlessness, I thought, okay, so that's okay, no problem. I don't fear death. And I was perfectly healthy up to 1 year back. And he said, last year my body developed some complication, and I had cancer, and then that's the first time I saw death close, and I was scared. So I was not afraid of death because probably I thought it's not getting to me. And I'm telling this to you coming from an 86-year-old. So he said that up to 80 I was not afraid. And then last year I had a glimpse of death close to me, and then it was scary. And Didi, I want to live. So you see that this thing is about, sometimes we don't feel, we don't know what it means, and then we say we are not afraid, and then sometimes we feel that it is the end of life, so we don't care. Sometimes you feel that okay, even if there is pain or something, then it ends there. But then to be genuinely not afraid of death or conquer death is to make such preparations before you die that you can ensure that you go to a good place after it. And that is what it means to be a conqueror of death. Being a conqueror of death doesn't mean that we are oblivious to the fact that life continues after that, and the karma and sanskars will be carried. So we just continue a reckless living and not accumulate enough to take forward in next life. Or it doesn't mean that we think that death is not coming to me, so I am a conqueror of death. And Baba says, only when you are man mana bhav, that is, you are in connection with Baba, then you can conquer death. You can come to that feeling where you you know that there is death and you know there is life after that, and you say, I am well prepared, so it doesn't bother me. Yes, so some children you've seen, they are not prepared for the exam and they don't know what to be prepared for, so they are very carefree. That happened with me in my 10th chemistry exam. I didn't know anything, so I was very carefree. And then I went with utmost confidence. And that was like, so everybody was scared seeing my confidence, but that confidence came from a place because I didn't know anything, so I had nothing to lose. But then you should be so well prepared that you are above the fear. Okay, so that is the conqueror of death. And I used a simple word which is connection with Baba or Man Mana Bhav. But then that connection is not a very simple thing. What is connection with Baba? So our first contact point with Baba is the Murli. So when you say Man Mana Bhav, it means connecting your mind with the mind of God. And what is the Murli? The Murli is the mind of God. So whatever God has in his mind is spoken through words in the Murli. So the first contact with Baba in these steps to Manmanabhav is the Murli. Then in the Murli, you get an idea about how to be, what to do, who to remember. And all the methods that Baba tells you in the Murli are methods to stay connected with him. Whether it is embracing pure food or a pure lifestyle, or whether it is waking up at Amrit Vela, where the environment is conducive to connecting with Baba, whether it is refraining from reactions during the day. So all these practices are ways in which you can stay connected to Baba. And then the most important is remembrance. So conscious remembrance of who you are and who you belong to. So Baba says all these steps to Manmanabhav will lead you to a stage where you have the confidence that you have earned enough good karma to not be afraid. Do you know where confidence can only come from good karma? So you cannot have confidence without investing in good karma. That's not possible. So being confident about your fortune in this life and afterlife is about good karma. And Manmanabhav is a state when you are connected with Baba, following Baba's Srimad and doing everything according to Baba's Srimad, and everything according to Baba's Srimad is good karma. So when you remember Baba, when you speak sweetly, when you do spiritual seva, everything of it is good karma. So Baba says this good karma will give you the confidence that which death cannot shake, or the confidence which death cannot take away. So death cannot put you in fear if you have done that investment. So Baba says this is about Manmanabhav. And then the question is, what special teaching does the spiritual father give you spiritual pilgrims? So we are pilgrims. So we are not those pilgrims who go on physical pilgrimages, but we are spiritual pilgrims, and this is a spiritual pilgrimage. And whenever somebody goes on a physical pilgrimage, they have an aim, right? So they are going to Kailash Parvat, or they are going to Amarnath, or they are going to somewhere. And then we spiritual pilgrims are also going to the soul world. So that is the aim. So we are making this journey. And it is not a physical journey, it is a journey of the soul. So, are you on a journey? And every journey has milestones. So, can you feel that you're covering certain milestones while on this journey? So, you may be sitting in the same house or doing the same job, but then you're moving and you are going ahead, and that's a spiritual journey. And Baba says there is a special teaching for spiritual pilgrims that Baba gives. And what is the teaching? O spiritual pilgrims, renounce body consciousness and become soul conscious. Ravan made you body conscious for half the cycle, so now become soul conscious. Only the Supreme Spirit and no one else can give you the spiritual knowledge. Now, what is the difference between people in the world who are going towards destruction and we spiritual pilgrims who are going towards liberation and liberation in life? So, what is the difference between both? So, earlier the difference used to be that people who went on pilgrimages, they left the home and sometimes they left families, and if they became ascetics, they lived in the jungle. So, that was the difference. But now we also live in the home, do the job, do everything. Yes, most of you are working, most of you have live with the family. So these we are living in normal settings, just like everybody doing the same things. Then what makes us spiritual pilgrims is we do everything in a soul conscious state and they do everything in a body conscious state. So that is the only difference. Yes, the difference is not that you wear white and they wear colored, or you wake up at Amrit Vela and they don't. If you wake up at Amrit Vela, it is to maintain this soul conscious state or create this soul conscious state. So ultimately, it comes to whether you are soul conscious or body conscious. And if you are soul conscious, you could be anywhere doing anything and you're still a spiritual pilgrim. And if you're body conscious, you can be living in the center and you could still not be a spiritual pilgrim. So the difference, Baba is not saying the difference is where you live or what you do. The difference is whether you are body conscious or soul conscious. So this is the teaching that Baba gives us. Now, what is this soul consciousness? So how do you do everything in soul consciousness? So that is the question you have to ask yourself. And what is the way in which you do everything in a body conscious manner? So what is the difference? What is the apparent difference between a soul conscious behavior and a body conscious behavior? So whenever you are body conscious, then primarily your driving forces are lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. Yes, so you are being driven by what you will get out of it, whether it is sensual pleasure, whether it is fulfillment of ego, or whether it is gain of some money or anything. So you are always swinging between these pairs of opposites, gain and loss, success and failure, defamation and praise. So this is what drives you. So you're driven by praise, money, or sensual pleasure, or attainments. So, or you're doing something out of anger. So all of that is body conscious way of living. And when you are soul conscious, what drives you work. Soul conscious people also go to jobs and they also take care of the house. But then what is the driving force? The driving force is who am I and who I belong to. So when you have dignity for who you are, when you have honor for what Baba has told you about you, when you have regard for who your father is, then you do actions which match your self-respect and match your dignity as God's child. And that is being soul conscious. And when you're soul conscious, you will always behave the same, because your behavior doesn't depend on the circumstances or the other person's behavior. Your behavior is about your realization of who you are and who you belong to. Yes, so, and then it's about the purpose that Baba has given you, not the purpose that the world gives you. So even if it's about earning money, it's for seva. So then you always do seva. So you always earn money in an altruistic way, because Baba has told you that only the money earned with purity will go into seva. So Baba says that when you are soul conscious, you will do everything with purity, because you realize that it is coming from a place of purity. You are a pure soul, and then you are doing it for seva, which expects you to be pure if you're doing it for seva. So that is the soul conscious approach to living. So it's not giving up your job or giving up your home and then just sitting in a corner. So that is not about spiritual pilgrimage. Spiritual pilgrimage means you do everything, but you just do it differently. That is in a soul conscious manner. Yes, so are you doing everything in a soul conscious manner? Yes, you have to ask this question to you. Otherwise, people are all moving all day. So everybody is moving. Nobody is sitting in a place. Everybody is moving. The minds are moving. The mouths are moving. The body is moving. Everything is in a state of activity. But the big question is, where are we going with all of this movement? So you are in Karam Kshetra. So your mind, speech, body, everything is doing something all the time. But then how you are doing it determines where you are going with it. So people who are very miserable also right now are using their mind all day. Are they not using their mind? Have their minds shut down? No. So they are using their minds all day. They are using their mouths all day, their hands all day. But then what they are creating out of it is taking them downhill. So Baba says, when you are driven by vices, when you're driven even by laziness or jealousy or comparison or, hopelessness, whenever you're driven by vices, you use your assets in a manner which take you downhill. And whenever you are in your virtues and in the feeling of your dignity and your power and your peace, then you are using your assets to take you forward. So that is the difference. So Baba is giving us a lot of detail about how to be what Baba wants us to be. So we have to keep it in our awareness and function accordingly during the day. Yes, so today just check, where are you going? So this day will take you somewhere. Yes, this day is a resource and you can use it. You can use the time, the resources in the day to go somewhere. And where are you trying to go? Are you trying to go forward or are you trying to go backwards? Because most people are going backwards right now. Yes, if you ask them, were you a different person 1 year back? They say yes. And were you better? They say yes. So that's the thing. So this 1 year has taught us how we can be spiritual pilgrims, or we could be the opposite of that. Now, the slogan today is, imbibe goodness, but do not be impressed by that goodness. So, um, so you may see many good qualities in people you meet. They could be specialities, they could be qualities. Yes, somebody speaks nicely, sings well, cooks well. They have some different, speciality for some art or craft. And Baba says, you look at those specialities, you look at that goodness, but and also imbibe it. You want to learn, you learn from that goodness, but don't be impressed by it. So sometimes we say, when we see somebody doing something special, we say, I'm very impressed. Now, let me tell you the spiritual secret behind this. Baba says, when you are impressed by a human, then that impression becomes a shadow on the soul. And then the soul cannot remember God or see God because of that veil of impression of a human on the soul. And if you experiment this, if you're impressed by a human, then whenever you start remembering Baba, that human will come into your buddhi. And Baba says, his quality, if it takes you away from Baba, then it's not a quality, it becomes a negative thing for you. So Baba says, never be impressed by anyone or anything, because whatever you are impressed by becomes an impression on your chit, and then that impression will not allow you to be connected with Baba. So Baba says, don't be impressed, just see a quality, admire it and take it into you. So learn from that quality, but never be impressed by the person who has that quality. And now you understand the spiritual reason why you should not be impressed. But then how can you avoid it? Like if somebody is really impressive, then you tend to get impressed by that person, yes? So then how do you do that? So how do you do that is, whenever you look at a quality or goodness in someone, then you remember the bestower of that goodness, and that is Baba. Yes, so when you see the Rachna, remember the Rachayita. So whenever you see somebody having a good quality, you say that it is because of Baba that this one has this quality, and I have Baba, so I can have that quality. Yes, and I will tell you one thing. When I was not in Gyan, so I heard speakers, BK speakers, yes, and I heard senior sisters, and they were very good. So when I heard the knowledge, I started wondering, where do they get this content from? And where do they get all this thing from? I was not even a BK at that time, and I didn't know that there is Baba and there is Murli or this or that. And then the first question that came into my mind was, where is this whole thing coming from? Because everybody is speaking similar, and they have a storehouse and they are getting it from there. And then because of that question, I got access to Baba. And when I had access to Baba, I did not have to be impressed by anything else, because I knew it was all coming from the Murli. So whatever you hear in anybody's class is coming from the Murli. Yes, it could be adorned with some examples, it could be put in a nice way, but then it is coming from the Murli. So then when you learn this, you are only impressed by Baba, not by anybody else. So just like, Gyan is so obvious that it is coming from Baba, do you know that anything in the world that anyone has its source in Sangam Yuga? And in this confluence age, it is Baba who is giving the virtues, the powers, the knowledge, everything that is nurturing the whole of humanity for the full cycle. So, if you look at any artist, where is that art coming from? It is coming from a place of peace. Yes, if you are in peace, you have creativity. And who is giving that peace? That peace is being given by Baba. So everything, every art, every beauty, every speciality in the world is coming from what Baba is giving us right now. And when you understand this secret that all through the cycle, anything that anyone ever has comes from Baba, then whenever you see anything, you only know that it is because of Baba that this person has this. And then you have access to the source, so you can also become like Baba and do whatever you want. And I'm telling you, it's not just knowledge, but any kind of art, anything you want to master. It is a child's play when you are connected to Baba. So you can be very creative. You have access to the virtues which are the foundation of creativity. So you can be creative to the extent you want if you're peaceful, happy, loveful, powerful. Powerful means no distractions. Do you understand that? So you can do anything in the world if you are connected with that one who is the master of the world. So when you understand this secret, you're not impressed by anyone or anything. So this is about it. And in the so today is Mateshwari Ji's Mahavakyas, and I will read that out to you slowly and then explain it a little. So the invaluable elevated versions of Mateshwari Ji. There is a song, "What can thunderstorms do to those whose companion is God?" This is a song from I think the movies. So जिसका साथी है भगवान, उसको क्या रोकेगा आंधी और तूफान. So Mama says, it is said that thunderstorms cannot stop the one whose companion is God. And then Mama explains that in the world there is a belief that God is omnipresent. God is everywhere. And if that is true, then wherever there is God, then there cannot be any thunderstorms. But then the world is going through so much of chaos and so many upheavals right now. So Mama says, then this is an insult to God to say that you are everywhere and then there are so many thunderstorms, because wherever there is God, there cannot be Maya. So Mama says God is not everywhere. And even when Baba comes in this confluence age, he is only with you if you are in his remembrance. He is only with you if you are in his remembrance. So if you have Baba in your heart, and what you have in your heart, you have in your head also. So if you have Baba in your heart and your head, only then you can be said to be with Baba. And when you are with Baba, then there are no thunderstorms for you, because the true faith, the true power you have access to on the basis of having faith in Baba will make you more powerful than the thunderstorms. So Mama basically is clarifying two things here. A, Baba is not omnipresent and he is present in the Sangam Yug, but he is not like present in the Sangam Yug for everybody. He is present in the heart of the one who remembers him. And only then can you say that thunderstorms cannot upset the one with whom Baba is, or Baba is the companion. Okay, so now you see Baba says that you must forget your body, your bodily relations, and your bodily religion. Yes? Baba in the Murli says, forget these things, three things: body, bodily relations, bodily religion. And then Baba says, consider yourself to be a soul and remember Baba. Now, when Baba says, forget your bodily religion, it also means you forget all that you have been taught about God in your religion. Yes, because whatever you have been taught about God in your religion has not brought you closer to God, it has taken you away from God. Yes, because you do not know who He is and what He does, and then you are told that He does everything, and you keep expecting Him to do everything, and then He keeps failing you because you are expecting something He doesn't do, and then you get disappointed with God. Right? So you believe that God should take care of the coronavirus, and then He doesn't do it because He's not supposed to do it, and then you are disappointed because of your expectation. Right? So Baba says, you must know me as I am, and know me who I am and what I do. Know me as I am and what I do. So you have to listen to me and find out what is it that I'm like and what is it that I do. So Baba says, I do not take care of you just like that, because it is your karma that is creating the world around you. So I cannot absolve you of your karma without you participating in another set of karma. So Baba says, I cannot take you out of a problem. So what you have to do is, you have to leave the problem, unplug from the problem, take your attention to me, draw in power, and then take care of the problem. Yes, so Baba says this is the right way to deal with the problem. And when you are really in my company, that is when you know me as I am and connect with me as I tell you to, then you have access to my power. And that is when you can deal with the thunderstorms. So this thing that there are no thunderstorms present for the one who is in the company of Baba is true, but it's not true for those who have blind faith, but it's true for those who have open-eyed, true faith in Baba based on true knowledge that Baba gives. Correct? So, how many of you feel that the thunderstorms don't work for you anymore? So they don't exist for you. Yes, there are some who raise their hand, and that comes from a place of having real companionship with Baba based on, not blind faith, but open-eyed faith based on the open eyes given by the knowledge that Baba gives. So read the Murli, and I would request you, and every time I say this, read the Murli thoroughly. It has many gems which I am not able to cover in the Manthan, and you have a right over it. So don't give up your spiritual right. Read the Murli, or listen to the Murli if you're good at Hindi, and just listen to what Baba wants you to imbibe in the day. Om Shanti. There is a question, who is Mama? So who is Mama? Mama came to Baba, but Mama was one of the first ones to come to Baba. And when she came to Baba, she was 16 years of age. And she came with her mother. And her mother wanted her to translate whatever Baba was saying, and not translate, but write down so that the mother could go and revise. So she was brought in as someone to assist her mother, and then she was destined to belong to Baba, and then she became the number one. So along with Baba, Mama is said to become Shri Lakshmi in Satyug. So right now in Sangam Yug, just like Brahma Baba is Brahma Baba, Mama is called Saraswati. And then this Brahma Saraswati are the future Sri Lakshmi Narayan. So that is Mama, and Mama left her body in 1965. So within almost a span of 30 years or something, Mama had become Karmatit. So Mama had become the full embodiment of whatever Baba's Gyan is in 1965, sorry. And Baba became Karmatit in 1969, and Mama became Karmatit in 1965. So that was very close, and that is Mama, and we will talk about Mama more in one of the future classes. Okay, Om Shanti.